There's one thing millions of cat owners do every day because they think it's a sign of love. But to a cat, it can mean the exact opposite. And if you're doing it right now, your cat may be slowly pulling away from you without you even realizing it. The good news? A few small changes can completely change how your cat sees you. And stay until the end, because the last habit involves one spot on your cat's body that can build a stronger bond than treats or toys ever could. 1. Talk to your cat like a baby. Have you ever noticed that your voice changes completely when you talk to your cat? One moment you're speaking normally, then the second you see your cat, your voice suddenly becomes softer, higher, and a little more playful. Most people don't even realize they're doing it, and if someone overhears them, it can feel a little embarrassing. But here's the surprising part. Your cat probably loves it. In a 2022 study from the University of Paris, researchers found that cats responded much more strongly when their owners used a gentle, affectionate tone compared to their normal speaking voice. When owners spoke normally, many cats barely reacted. But when they switched to a warm, emotional voice, cats were more likely to perk up, turn toward them, and even approach. That tells us something important. Cats aren't just listening to your words, they're listening to your emotions. To a cat, the way you speak often matters more than what you actually say. So the next time you walk past your cat, take a second to say hello. Use a calm, friendly voice. It doesn't have to be anything special. Because in your cat's world, that voice sends a simple message. You're safe, you're loved, and I'm here. But if you think your voice is the strongest way to build trust with a cat, the next habit is even more powerful. 2. The 3-second slow blink. Have you ever caught your cat staring at you from across the room? Not meowing, not moving, just quietly watching you. And then, out of nowhere, they slowly close their eyes. Most people assume their cat is simply sleepy, but that slow blink may actually be one of the clearest signs of trust a cat can give. In the cat world, direct eye contact has meaning. When unfamiliar cats meet, they often stare at each other to assess whether the other is a threat. That's why a long, unbroken stare can feel confrontational to a cat. So when a cat slowly closes its eyes in front of you, it's doing something important. It's letting its guard down. It's choosing to be vulnerable. And cats only do that when they feel safe. In a 2020 study from the University of Sussex, researchers found that cats were more likely to slow blink back and approach people who gave them this signal first. In other words, cats don't just understand the slow blink, they respond to it. So the next time your cat looks at you, don't stare back. Instead, soften your gaze and slowly close your eyes for a second before opening them again. It takes less than 3 seconds, but to your cat, it says, I trust you. And if your cat blinks back, that's their way of saying the same thing. But even if your cat trusts you, there's another mistake many owners make every day without realizing it. And it often leaves cats feeling bored and frustrated. 3. Play like prey, not like a toy. Have you ever bought a new toy for your cat, only to watch them stare at it with complete indifference? No chasing, no pouncing, no excitement at all. At that moment, many owners assume their cat is lazy or simply doesn't enjoy playing. But the real problem is usually something else. Cats weren't born to play. They were born to hunt. For thousands of years, their survival depended on stalking, waiting, chasing, and catching prey. That instinct is still hardwired into their brains today, and that's where many owners make a mistake. They wave a toy back and forth in the same spot, at the same speed, over and over again. To a cat, that's not prey. It's just an object moving without purpose. Instead, try making the toy behave like something alive. Let it disappear behind furniture. Pause for a moment, then suddenly dart away. Move it unpredictably. Make your cat work for the catch. When you do, you'll notice a change almost immediately. Their body lowers to the ground. Their eyes lock onto the target. Their pupils widen. And suddenly, they're fully engaged. Because now you're not just playing. You're activating one of the strongest instincts your cat has. And here's the best part. Cats that get a chance to hunt every day are often calmer, less stressed, and more affectionate. You're no longer just the person who fills the food bowl. You're the person who makes life exciting. But surprisingly, there's something even more powerful than play. Sometimes, the best way to bond with a cat is to do absolutely nothing at all. 4. Sometimes, do absolutely nothing. If your cat is lying across the room right now, not asking for attention and not coming over to you, what do you think that means? Many people assume their cat is being distant, or worse, that their cat doesn't really like them. But cats see things very differently. In the cat world, affection isn't always about physical contact. It's not about constant cuddles or being together every second of the day. Sometimes, trust simply means feeling comfortable sharing the same space. Think about it. Cats are naturally cautious animals. They don't relax near someone they don't trust. So when your cat chooses to nap in the same room as you, even from a distance, that's already a sign of comfort and security. The problem is that many owners unintentionally interrupt that feeling. Every time they see their cat, they call its name, pick it up, or try to get its attention. The intention is loving, but to a cat, it can sometimes feel overwhelming. Instead, try doing less. Sit on the couch, read a book, watch TV, work on your laptop, and let your cat make the next move. You might be surprised by what happens. Over time, many cats start moving closer on their own. Not because they were called, not because they were bribed with treats, but because they chose to be there. And in a cat's world, choice is one of the strongest signs of trust. But even when your cat comes to you willingly, there's one small step most people skip. It only takes a second, yet it can completely change how your cat feels about being touched. 5. Let them smell your hand first. Have you ever noticed what two cats usually do when they meet for the first time? They don't immediately start playing. They don't rub against each other right away. Instead, they get close and sniff. That's because cats experience the world very differently from us. Humans rely mostly on sight. Cats rely heavily on scent. To a cat, every person, animal, and object carries important information through smell. That's how they identify what's familiar, what's new, and most importantly, what's safe. And that's why many owners accidentally skip an important step. They see their cat, walk over, and immediately reach down to pet it. From a human perspective, that's a friendly gesture. But from a cat's perspective, a large hand suddenly appearing from above can feel a little intrusive, especially if the cat is shy, cautious, or not fully relaxed. A better approach is surprisingly simple. The next time you want to pet your cat, hold out a finger and wait. Let them make the first move. If they're comfortable, they'll come forward and sniff your hand. Some cats will even rub their cheek against it. That's their way of saying, "Okay, I know who you are. You can come closer." It only takes a second, but it gives your cat something important: a choice. And cats value choice far more than most people realize. But even the friendliest cat has moments when it doesn't want to be disturbed. And one of those moments is when it's fast asleep. 6. Stop picking up your cat while they're sleeping. Let's be honest. Have you ever seen your cat curled up asleep and thought, "That's way too cute. I have to pick them up"? If you have, you're definitely not alone. Most cat owners have done it at least once. The problem is that what feels loving to us can feel very different to a cat. Adult cats sleep between 12 and 16 hours a day. And sleep isn't just rest. It's when they recover, recharge, and let their guard down completely. In fact, sleep is one of the most vulnerable states a cat can be in. Studies on feline behavior have shown that when cats are repeatedly disturbed during rest, they're more likely to seek out hidden or harder-to-reach sleeping locations where they feel safer. That's why cats only choose to sleep deeply in places where they feel safe. Think about that for a moment. When your cat falls asleep on the couch, on the bed, or in their favorite corner, they're making a statement. They're saying, "I trust this place. I feel safe here." But when they're suddenly picked up and moved, that feeling of safety gets interrupted. Even if your intentions are good. Over time, some cats respond by choosing harder-to-reach sleeping spots. Under the bed, on top of a cabinet, or somewhere hidden from people. Many owners think their cat is becoming distant, but often the cat is simply protecting its sleep. So the next time you see your cat sleeping peacefully, try doing something different. Just let them sleep. It sounds simple, but to a cat, it's a sign of respect. And respect is one of the fastest ways to build trust. But there's one final habit that can strengthen your bond even more. And it involves a special spot on your cat's body that many owners completely overlook. 7. One spot unlocks everything. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned that there's one spot on your cat's body that most owners overlook. But it can create a stronger sense of connection than almost any ordinary petting. And here it is. The area between your cat's ears and just behind the head. It sounds simple, but this spot has a special meaning in the feline world. When cats are closely bonded, they often groom each other. But they don't groom every part of the body equally. Instead, they focus on areas that are difficult to reach alone. And one of the most important spots is right between the ears and behind the head. When a cat grooms another cat there, it's not just about cleaning. It's a sign of trust, a sign of comfort, and a sign of social bonding. In other words, it's something cats usually reserve for those they consider family. The good news is that you can mimic this behavior. The next time your cat is relaxed, gently place your fingertips between the ears and slowly stroke toward the back of the head. No pressure, no rough scratching, just slow, gentle movements. If your cat enjoys it, you'll usually notice the signs right away. Their eyes may begin to close, their body relaxes, their ears soften, and sometimes you'll hear that familiar purr. That's your cat telling you they feel safe, comfortable, and connected to you. Of course, every cat is different. Some will love this spot. Others may prefer something else. The key is to watch their reaction and let them decide what feels good. Because in the end, the bond between you and your cat isn't built through grand gestures. It's built through hundreds of tiny moments. A gentle voice, a slow blink, a better play session, a quiet evening spent together, a hand offered before a pet, a nap left undisturbed, and a gentle touch in exactly the right place. These aren't big gestures, but for a cat, they mean everything. Cats can't tell us they feel loved with words, but they have their own ways of showing it. A slow blink, a gentle purr, or simply choosing to stay close to you. Sometimes what we need isn't to love our cats more, it's to understand them a little better. Now I'd love to ask you one thing. Out of the 7 things we talked about today, which one surprised you the most? For me, it was number 7. What about you? Leave the number in the comments below. And if you'd like to discover more fascinating secrets about the world of cats, don't forget to subscribe to Cat Decoded. See you in the next video.